विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सखगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सखगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वरा परम कृष्णा सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम। हरे कृष्ण। By Lord Sri Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished 24 slokas in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the most confidential knowledge. So we are understanding in this chapter also that Krishna is the enjoyer of all the sacrifices. Krishna is the enjoyer of all the offerings. So all the results belong to Krishna. That's the main point we are understanding. Whatever we do, anything produced in this world, everything, because Maya is working for Krishna. The three modes of material nature, we understand from Bhagavad Gita very clearly that all the activities are carried out by Maya only, not by us. We falsely think that we are doing the activities and we try to own the results. But we are not doing any activities. Everything is carried out by the three modes of material nature. So if you come under the control of the Rajoguna, then we will be bound to work in this world. That's what Karma Sangam. Karma Sangam means it's bondage to attachment to work, Karma Sangena. So we will be bound to work in this way. So similarly, Tamoguna means we will be ignorant. So Tamoguna leads to ignorance. So Rajoguna leads to bondage. Sattva leads to liberation. Of course, we will be freed from all the gunas. But only the gunas, only the three modes of material nature are doing all the activities. That's what we understand from Bhagavad Gita. All the activities are carried out only by the three modes of material nature. So that means all the results, they belong to Krishna only. All the results, because the three modes of material nature are working directly under the control of Krishna. So they are working, they are doing everything, and all the results belong to Krishna. And we falsely think that we own the results. So our stay in this world is temporary. And even this world itself is temporary. This earth itself is temporary. But still, for example, we are doing major projects, building skyscrapers, building big bridges, everything, lot of things we are making. But who owns ultimately these cities? Who owns ultimately all these things? We think that we own them. But nobody is here staying permanently. Everybody dies. And we think that then we give it to our children. So they take care. But here, the bodies, different bodies, everybody is taking birth and taking different bodies. And people think that we own, and this material world, everything belongs to us. So that's what we think. But ultimately, it is owned by Krishna only. So it's all, everything is here for billions of years. This material world, this earth itself is already 4.3 billion years ago, this 4.32 billion years ago, the solar system was formed. So it is there. But in these 4.32 billion years, we have taken many, many births. Not only in this earth, there are so many earth-like planets. Already today's modern science, with today's modern science, we are able to find in the space, there are so many earth-like planets. So we go to different planet, different birth, and depending upon what kind of karma we do and what kind of bondage we have, and take birth different bodies and suffer and struggle and die every time miserably. Every death, every birth we die. So, but in all such births, all such lives, we think that we own everything here. But in reality, we don't own anything. Everything is, Krishna is the enjoyer. Krishna is the Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam. So Krishna Ahamgi Sarva Yajnanam Bhoktacha Prabhurevacha. Krishna is for all the yajnas, he is the enjoyer and he is the master. Bhoktacha Prabhurevacha. Natumam Avijanati. So people, they don't understand Tatvena Tas Chavantite. So those who don't understand this fact, those who don't understand this philosophy. So Natumam Abhijanati, that I am the enjoyer, I am the owner, I am the Maheswaram, Sarvaloka Maheswaram, I am everything. So if anyone, they don't know this, so they simply, basically, they fall down. Chavantite, they fall down. We need to just understand that Krishna owns everything. That's it. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's it. If we know that, that means we will not fall down. That means our life will be very, very meaningful life. From Bhagavad Gita, we are understanding that point very clearly. Krishna says very, very clearly that I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, by studying Bhagavad Gita every day, like what we are doing now, we are getting that realization, getting that understanding that everything in this world is under the control of Krishna. There is God in control. That is the main thing. We need to understand that there is God in control. And now with that knowledge, then we should be able to see Krishna everywhere. We should be able to see Krishna in everything. So, only that is possible when we have this knowledge, only when we are able to remember Krishna, only when we are able to do everything for Krishna. So then we will be able to feel Krishna everywhere. So Bhagavad Gita is ultimately only teaching us that science, that how to live in Krishna consciousness, so that how we can live from this world, so that we will not come back again to this world. Prayana Kalam, so at the time of death, Prayana Kalecha Manasa Chalena. That's what Bhagavad Gita is teaching us. So at the time of death, our minds should not be disturbed. So we should have a stable mind at the time of death. So that means now is the time for us to stabilize our mind. We should use all the available time right now to keep our mind under our control, to gain control over our mind. Now is the time. We should not miss this opportunity. We should not lose this opportunity and just follow Bhagavad Gita and plan our life, design our life. We should not become a victim of this so-called stressful, modern, materialistic life. So, if we get into this cycle of repeated birth, old age, disease and death by all the time getting attached to the material sense objects, if we feel ourselves proud about our materialistic achievements, so then we are simply going to lose everything at the time of death. So that way, the time we need to well spend our time. We need to properly utilize our time. Every minute counts. Every second counts. So because this time once is gone, it's gone. So this time is the one thing that is Krishna himself, as I have said many times in the past. So for us, we need to effectively, in order to effectively use this time, we are right now doing that. Right now, by studying Bhagavad Gita every day, we are effectively using this time. So we need to keep studying Bhagavad Gita like this and understand it and spread this message to everyone and make as many devotees as possible. So that way, our life, that is the time very well spent. So studying Bhagavad Gita, reading Bhagavad Gita and listening to Bhagavad Gita and spreading Krishna's message and doing everything for Krishna. So we should be able to count how many hours in our life we are able to do all those things. And then, of course, we cannot do this all the time 24/7. It will be nice if we are able to do like that. So definitely in this world, people, they will actually, even in this modern materialistic world, people want to achieve retirement early. So everyone's goal is to get retirement early so that they can enjoy. But the problem is, I have seen people get retirement, but afterwards also they go and work. They go and work somewhere else. And people even at the age of 70, 75, even at the age of 80. So nobody is actually in this world. Nobody thinks that they are going to lose this life. They're going to die. We see people even at the age of 75, when they are able to move around, they are so busy. They don't have time. They are so busy engaged in all kinds of activities. That is stupid. Because we need to remember Krishna at the time of death. So when we get old, we have to use our time effectively to remember Krishna all the time. Forget about this material world. That is the main thing. We need to forget about this material world. We should remember only about Krishna, nothing else in this world. Nobody has stayed here forever. Everybody is going to die. So then we should take this as an opportunity, especially when we have a lot of time. Then we should be reading Srimad Bhagavatam, listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, studying Bhagavad Gita, and all the time glorifying Krishna, remembering Krishna all the time. So that's what we should do. But when we are young and energetic, we should be spending all the time in spreading Krishna consciousness, in teaching this Bhagavad Gita, and doing all the work for Krishna. That is the main thing. That's very important. When we want to go to job, when we go to job, we need to remember, understand that we are going to job only for Krishna. Because in order to maintain our life, of course, we need to go to job and get salary. But one thing we need to understand, why first of all we need to do all those things, because then only we can practice Krishna consciousness. Because if our daily needs are met very easily, then it is possible for us to study Bhagavad Gita every day, chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra every day, and that way we will be able to plan our life very well. If we are doing other work, if you go to work, but if that work becomes like working for 12 hours a day, 16 hours a day, and not able to find enough time to sleep, and not able to find enough time to cook nice prasadam and offer to Krishna and honor it, then what is the point of that life? That's how this modern world, it has become like that. We work late night and we have so many due dates, so many deadlines. That is a major problem. The way the society is designed now like that, we have to die so many times every day in order to meet all the deadlines. We are forced to act like anything. We are not able to, like our heart is beating fast. So the stress is the major killer. When we get stressed, all kinds of hormones are secreted, and they create all kinds of problems in our body. So we are not able to have peace of mind. So that way we are losing our peace of mind like anything. So it's really not worth even trying to control our mind and then get in this world, material world, getting ourselves so much of commitments, responsibilities. We have to be very careful. Because the time we remember Krishna, the time we are able to chant Krishna, we are able to cook nice prasadam and offer to Krishna, and the time we are able to sleep very nicely. So that's what is very important, because if we don't take care of our body, then we cannot take care of our mind, then we cannot control our mind. If we don't have good health, then we cannot take care of our mind. We cannot control our mind. So then how we are going to remember Krishna at the time of death? If you want to remember Krishna at the time of death, then we should be able to plan our life very nicely. That's what is very important. So Bhagavad Gita is going to give us the knowledge to plan our life. When we get this complete knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then we know what to do. Then we know how much work to do. And we can work smart. We can act smart. And Krishna already is guaranteeing. Krishna is already saying that I deliver you what you want. So that way, if you fully depend on Krishna, then our life is going to be very, very wonderful. We will not have any stress. We don't have to take any medicines for relieving our stress. So there is nothing like depression will come to the devotee. Because the devotee is always happy. The devotee is so much attached to Krishna. So, tushyanticha, ramanticha. So the devotee is always very happy, very satisfied, and very, very enjoying very much the devotee. So that means the benefit of studying Bhagavad Gita is, with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, when we are not too much attached to material sense enjoyment, that means first of all, we are going to have intelligence. We are going to gain intelligence. Because Bhoga Aishwarya Prasaktanam Taya Apagrata Chetasam Vyavasayatmika Buddhiki Samadav Na Vidyate. So anyone who understands this Bhagavad Gita fully will not be definitely attached too much to material sense enjoyment. So that means we will not be forced to work in this material way. We will be able to spend our time very wisely. We will be able to manage our time very effectively. So we will be able to lead a stress-free life. That is possible only if we get the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. And all the time, if we think that we are working for Krishna, we are doing everything for Krishna, then we are not attached to the results. When we are doing our work at office or at home or whatever we do, when we are preparing for an exam or preparing for an interview or anything, we are not going to be attached to the results at all. We will not be attached. We will not be disturbed by the results. And we will be able to do our level best. Any work, whatever we do, we'll be able to spend our full energy. We'll be able to, by Krishna's mercy, we'll be able to do it to our level best. So that way, this Bhagavad Gita gives us the confidence. This Bhagavad Gita knowledge gives us the motivation to work for Krishna. So then we will be able to plan our life in such a way that we'll be able to spend time, find time to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, find time to eat Krishna Prasada, offer Prasada to Krishna and eat, and find time to, that is basically controlling our sleep and the diet. That's what is very important. Because if we fail in that thing, then it's very difficult. That's what in Bhagavad Gita Krishna is telling very, very clearly. So ultimately our goal is to achieve the status of yoga. That is possible only by controlling our mind. Without controlling our mind, we won't be able to achieve the status of yoga. Asamyatat mano yogo dusprapa itime mati. So without controlling our mind, we cannot become a yogi. So the only way to control our mind is to remember Krishna. Manasamyamya matchitto. This line many times I have quoted. Manasamyamya matchitto. Only by thinking about Krishna only we can control our mind. So that way Bhagavad Gita gives us the knowledge about Krishna, especially in the 9th chapter we are studying about the most confidential knowledge, and in the 7th chapter to 12th chapter we are getting so much knowledge about Krishna. We are getting so much knowledge about our own Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. So when we gain this knowledge more and more, when we use this knowledge, apply this knowledge in our life, then our life is going to be very, very peaceful. We will be able to achieve peace of mind. The real peace of mind comes only with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Jnanam labdva param santi, nachirena adhigacchati. Only if we gain this knowledge, we are going to get supreme peace of mind. So that way, the benefits of knowing Bhagavad Gita, we can keep on, there is no limit. The benefit of knowing Bhagavad Gita is actually going to getting a life without any death, getting a permanent life in the happiest place. So that is the benefit of knowing this Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, in this material world, when we go to college, when we study, when we get so many degrees, the benefit is only to get material sense objects. So there is no point in being ourselves proud that we are so and so, we want so and we want so much, and we are so and so, we control so many things like that. In fact, nobody can control anything. Nobody can own anything in this material world. Everything is owned and everything is nicely controlled by Krishna. Everything is owned by Krishna. Everything is controlled by Krishna. So everything belongs to Krishna. That knowledge we need to have. That is a very important thing. The very important point is that we need to have that knowledge, is that everything moving, non-moving, and everything in this universe, everything is a part and parcel of Krishna. That is the main thing. That knowledge we should have all the time. 24/7 we should have that knowledge. That means in each and every activity we should use that knowledge. Whatever we do, we should do only with this knowledge that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Period. Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purushottama. Krishna is the Purushottama. He is above all. He is above everything. There is nothing above him. So that knowledge if we have from this Bhagavad Gita, and then if we are able to, every day, if we are able to work for Krishna, do everything for Krishna, then each and every minute, each and every second, whatever we do, it will bring us permanent results. Otherwise, in this material world, we gain only temporary results. Everything will come to an end. Antavatu. Antavatu palam. So all the results, palam means the results. Antavatu means will come to an end. So everything in this material world, what we do without the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, without doing it for Krishna, everything will come to an end. But only with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, if we are able to do everything for Krishna as an offering unto Krishna, so then it is going to stay with us forever. That is very easy to understand, correct? It is not at all difficult. Very, very easy to understand, that's it. Whatever we do it for ourselves, ignoring Krishna, we are going to suffer and we will be the loser. And whatever we do it for Krishna, by recognizing Krishna, by understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then whatever results we gain, that is going to be permanent. Because we are going to get Krishna's place, Krishna's kingdom. We are going to go to Krishna's well. That's it. It's so easy and simple to understand Bhagavad Gita. So that's the reason Krishna is saying that you have a right to perform your duty, but you don't have any right over the results. But we have a right to perform our duty for Krishna. When we love Krishna, we want to do our duty very nicely for Krishna. That's what we are doing in this world. When we go to work, most of the time it's not that we are doing it for ourselves, for our family, for our children, for our parents. So everything we are suffering, working hard and earning all those things, it is everything for others. We want to please everyone, others. But why not just please only one person? That is the Supreme Person, without worrying about anyone else. Just please Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, just please Krishna only. Then we don't have to worry about anyone. Everyone else will be pleased. We don't even have to think about it. We don't even have to worry about it if anybody else is pleased or not. So Krishna, we need to just please only Krishna. That strong faith, that strong knowledge comes only with this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. Exactly what Arjuna did. So Arjuna thought about so many things. He decided not to fight. He told Krishna that Govinda, I shall not fight. Nayotse iti Govindam. But then when he got the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then he understood very well that his goal is only to please Krishna. So that point when he understood very well, he did not think about anything else. Because there Krishna was standing in front of Arjuna and Krishna was asking Arjuna to fight, and Arjuna understood very well that his only goal is to please Krishna. So then he just fought for Krishna, that's it. He didn't think about anything else. He didn't worry about any results. His son got killed in that battle, Abhimanyu. And as he feared, he had to kill his teacher Dronacharya. And his grandfather Bhishma was killed there. And his cousins all got killed there. So that's what Arjuna told Krishna in the beginning, that how can I kill them? How can I counterattack with arrows? How can I counterattack Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship? Katham Bhishmam aham sankhe dronam cha madhusudana isubhihi pratiyotsyami pujarga varisudana. How can I do that, Krishna? How can I counterattack with arrows Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship? And how can I live? How can I kill my Guru? And then how can I enjoy this kingdom which will be tainted with my Guru's blood? Guru nagatwagi mahanubhavan sreyo bhoktam vaikshyam api galoke hatvartha kamamstu guru nihaiva bunjiya bhogan rutira pratikdan. Guru nagatwagi mahanubhavan, who is a great person, mahanubhavan. Instead of killing him, Guru Nagatva, instead of killing him, Guru Nagatwagi Mahanubhavan, Sreyo Bhoktam Vaikshyam Apiga Loke. It's good for me to go and beg and live in this world. That's what Sreyo Bhoktam Vaikshyam Apiga Loke. Hatvartha Kamams to Guru Nihaiva. But just being attached to these sense objects, because Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, you should not be attached to material sense objects, all such things. So Arjuna is saying the same thing to Krishna. I'm not attached to material sense objects. Nakankse vijayam Krishna, nacharajam sukha nicha. I don't desire any victory. I don't want this kingdom. I don't want this royal happiness. I don't want all these things. So then why should I go and kill my teacher? Why should I kill my grandfather? So if I kill my teacher, Guru Hatvartha Kamams to Guru Nivaya Ihaiva Bunjiya Bhogan Rutira Pratiktan. So whatever I enjoy, that will be tainted with my Guru's blood. Rutira Pratiktan. But at the end, when he understood very clearly that he just needs to do what Krishna says, that's it. So when he realized, understood that, he didn't say a single word after it. He just fought for Krishna. Karishye vachanam tava. I am going to act as per your instructions. That's it. So that's exactly all of us should do in this life. We should do everything for Krishna. Everything. So we should elevate ourselves to that situation, like Arjuna's situation. And how Arjuna got elevated to that situation? Because he understood this Bhagavad Gita very well. After he understood Bhagavad Gita very well, immediately he completely surrendered unto Krishna. He was just doing everything for Krishna. Same thing is going to happen to us. When we get this knowledge fully, completely, then we will fully surrender unto Krishna and we will do everything for Krishna. That's what is very important. So that way, if we just worship Krishna, then we will go to Krishna. So in the 9th chapter, we already studied, Krishna said, so those who worship other gods, they are actually worshipping only me. Anya devata bhaktaha yajante sraddhayan vidaga tepi mameva kaunteya yajanti avidhi purvakam. There are so many religions, so many various types of gods. Everybody is worshipping them different ways. But Krishna is telling very clearly that everyone is actually worshipping me only. Tepi mameva kaunteya. They are actually worshipping only me, mameva kaunteya. But they are doing it in a wrong way. Yajanti avidhi purvakam. If we get this full knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then we are going to do it in a right way. So we need to get this knowledge completely. That's what we are doing every day. Every day we are making progress. We are understanding more about Krishna. We are understanding about ourselves, and our life is becoming very, very meaningful with this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So It is very important for us to realize that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. And when we go to Krishna, we will not ask Krishna, Krishna, please do this to me. Krishna, please give this to me and all. No. There is no need to ask Krishna, no need to pray for our daily bread at all. Krishna knows what we need. And Krishna is already giving what we need. We just need to engage ourselves in Krishna's service with love and devotion. That's it. So that's what we need. So Krishna is the only God, the Supreme God. When we go to Him, we will not ask Him to give us anything. Rather, we will, only one thing we can request Krishna, that give me more service. But of course, Krishna is always ready to give us service. Krishna is waiting. Krishna is waiting for us to go approach Him, that please engage me in my service. That's it. Then Krishna will, we don't have to worry about job loss or job guarantee, nothing. Here, everything is fully guaranteed. Bhaktimayi param kritva maam evaisisi asamseva. So when we apply for job, many times we also look at the benefits of the job. What are the benefits they are offering in their job? So whether they are giving good health insurance or good bonus or this or that, like that, we will look at the benefits package. So here, the benefit of serving Krishna is Krishna's world. We are going to go to attain a life which is permanent and blissful, permanently blissful life. So that's why we need to go to Krishna. If we go anywhere else, we will come back to this earth. That is the main problem. Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartino arjuna mamupete tu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. So if you come to me, then you will not come back to this world. So in the next sloka, in the sloka number 25, Krishna is teaching us in the 9th chapter. Yanti deva vrataha devan pitrunyanti pitruvradaha bhutani yanti bhutejya yanti madhyajino pima. Yanti deva vrata devan. That means those who worship the demigods, deva, yanti deva, vrataha devan. Those who worship demigods will go to demigods. But we need to understand, we will come back again to this earth even if you go to demigods. That is the main thing. Even if you go to Indraloka, that is Surendra Lokam, even if you enjoy there, Swarga Lokam, Tetam Bhuktva Swarga Lokam Visalam, Shine Punye Martya Lokam Visanti. So when our punya is done, we need to come back to this earth. So here Yanti Deva Vrata Devan. So those who worship demigods will go to them. Pitrunyanti Pitrun Vratahar. So those who worship the forefathers will go to them. We can worship. We can go. Whomever we remember at the time of death, we are going to go. If someone is so much attached to their children, their parents or grandparents or something, if they are already dead. So at the time of death, if you just remember them, you can go to them. That's what Krishna is saying there. So Pitrunyanti Pitrun Vrataham. So, but everything is temporary. We need to understand. Bhutani Anti Bhuteja. So those who worship the ghost and spirit will go to them also. Bhutani Anti Bhuteja. Yanti Madhyajino Api Mam. But those who worship me will come to me. Yanti Madhyajino Api. So that's why we need to worship Krishna. So if we go to Krishna, then we will not come back to this material world, this earth. Again, earth-like planets. We are not going to suffer. So if you go to anywhere else, even if you go to Brahmaloka, we will come back to this earth. So we have to make a choice. We have to understand. We have to use this life very effectively, because this is a very rare opportunity, very great opportunity we have gotten. And we need to now become ourselves expert in this Bhagavad Gita. That is the only thing what we need. First, let us only focus on that thing. Everything else will follow. We don't have to worry about anything. Spend as much time as possible every day studying Bhagavad Gita slokas, spreading Krishna's message. Fully focus on Bhagavad Gita only. Then everything else is going to fall in shape. We don't have to worry about it. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished 25 slokas in the 9th chapter. Hare Krishna. I will stop now. We'll discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna. We have a question from Vishal Atri. He asked, Hare Krishna Guruji,